Cooperfield is Dickens' semi-autobiographical buildings roman following the protagonist from childhood to adulthood. So now what I'm going to say, please pay close attention to, because each and every line contains very important information which may come directly to the examination. Of course, we are going to discuss question and answer after the summary being discussed, but each and every line contains very important information. Even if you listen very carefully, you are going to remember so much of information. So please pay close attention to. So moving on, so the very first line, if you see the David Copperfield Dickens semi-autobiographical work. So in this line, the question may ask like which of the following work by Dickens is a semi-autobiographical work, okay? And from Charles Dickens, they may also going to ask the chronological work of Charles Dickens. So you must also have a look at that. So for now, the first work of Charles Dickens is the Pickwick Papers, and the last work of Charles Dickens is the Mystery of Edwin Drood, that is published after his death. Okay. So moving on, born 6 months after his father's death, David experienced a traumatic childhood when his mother remarries the cruel Edward Marston, who sends him to Salim House boarding school. After his mother's death, David works in a wine bottling factory before escaping to his eccentric aunt Betsy Trotwood. The novel traces David's journey through education, various relationships, including his first marriage to the childlike Dora Spanlaw and his eventual marriage to Agnes Wickfield. So here is the summary. Now let's discuss some of the question and answers. So if you are lucky enough, you will get questions like who is the author of David Copperfield? That is of course Charles Dickens. And then another question, what is the name of the protagonist? That is David Copperfield, right? But as we know, we are not lucky enough. So what can you do? We are going to study hard, right? So let's focus on the next question. What is David Copperfield's childhood home called? That is Blunderstone. Okay, moving on. Who is David's cruel stepfather? That is Edward Marston. Okay, who is David's loyal childhood nurse? Peggotty. Okay, who is David's first wife? Dora Spanlaw. Who eventually becomes David's second wife? Agnes Wickfield. Who provides David with a stable home after he escapes the Marstons? Betsy Trotwood. Okay. Which character frequently says, I am a humble person? This is very important question. So must remember this. That is Uriah Heep. Who says annual income £20, annual expenditure 1996 results happiness. Who said this? Mr. Micawber. Mr. Micawber. Okay. Thereafter we have, where does David first meet James Streetford? That is at Salim House. What is the name of the abusive headmaster at Salim House? Mr. Crickle. Why is David sent to Salim House? Of course, because he bites Mr. Murdstone. So what profession does David ultimately pursue? Lawyer, teacher, writer, doctor. The correct answer is writer. What is the profession of David's stepfather, Mr. Murdstone? He is a lawyer. Who is David Copperfield's kind and supportive friend throughout his life? Tommy Treadles. Who exposes Uriah Heep's fraudulent activities? The correct answer is Mr. Micawber. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. What tragic event befalls Emily in the story? Okay, so she is betrayed by James Steerforth. Thereafter, who is David Copperfield's devoted and loving mother? That is Clara Copperfield. Who is Miss Betsy Trotwood? She is of course David's aunt. Okay, so these are some of the questions you must focus on. These are the text-based questions from David Copperfield. Okay, you must remember, and also please remember that is a semi-autobiographical work of Charles Dickens, which is most likely to be asked, and also it is Bildungsroman, that is from childhood to adulthood. So these are the things that you should remember from exam point of view.